So I have the data already opened up in my Power Query editor in Power BI. Okay, so the data set is actually quite messy because um, so the columns, the headers are actually in the rows. So the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring the column headers from the rows to where they are supposed to be up here in this column line or whatever it is called. Okay, so I'm going to click on this table icon, and then I'm going to click on use first row as headers. That is, I want to use this first row here which has the column headers. So I want to use this first row as the actual headers. And so instead of the column 1, column 2, column 3 and all, I'm actually going to be using these headers. Okay, so I'm going to click on this table icon and click on use first row as headers. Okay, so much better. And then I noticed that there's a blank row, and in this blank row, that entire row is actually blank, so I'm going to discard it. So I'm going to come here to this drop down and unselect all. Okay, and just unselect the blank. So first of all, I need to be sure that the blank row is just, everything in that row is blank, or is it that there are some cells in that row that are blank and others are not blank? So I need to be sure. So first thing is I'm going to select the blank. All right, so it is safe for me to remove the blank row since all cells in this row are actually blank. So I'm going to cancel this filtered row step and unselect the blank rows this time around. All right, so now the next thing that I want to do is actually understand this data. So we have so this data set, right, is IMDB data set, and IMDB is a website known for ranking TV shows, movies, and everything TV centered. Okay, so we have the IMDB title ID. So for each TV show or movie, there's a title ID, their own unique identity number. Okay, and then we have the original title. That is the title of the movie, and I can see here that it's spelled in a way that is not really correct. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to change this. So E. Okay, so we have original title, and then we have the release year. The release year is actually showing release date. It's not just year, it has the year, the month, and it also has the day. And you can see from here that the formats are different. So this is where the headache is going to be. The formats are actually different, so we would need to change that, right? We would need to change the format. So to do that, I'm first of all going to check everything here to see how the formats are. Okay, so this first one, right, this first one is 23rd of I think this is July. Yeah, the seventh month is July 2018, but it is not actually arranged well. So notice when I change this to from text to a date. Yeah, when I change it from text to date, do you see what happens? You can see errors in some of the cells um, because let me cancel the step because it does not recognize or let me say Power BI does not recognize. Let's take a look at this one. So you can see 09211972. So this is September 21st, 1972, but there is no delimiter to show that this is a date. So we need to change all of these things, right? We need to change them. So in doing that, we're going to like just take our time carefully to assess everything that we have here. I know this is not the best of options, but this is the only option that I can, do for now. This is the only option that I can take for now. All right. So what I'm going to do is let me go down. Let me just go down a little bit and start from the dates that are not properly formatted. So I have 22 Feb 04, which is 22nd. Okay. So now this is another. Okay. So now this is, I think this is 2022. Is this 2022? Okay, so hold on. Let me unselect all and select just this. I want to try something. So I'm going to change this to a date and see how it looks like. Okay, so this is 22nd of February 2004. Okay, so I don't really need to touch this. I don't really need to do any, too much. I just need to change the date or the change data type rather. So I'm going to cancel this step. Okay, and focus on what really matters. So I have 09/21/1972. So 09 space 21 space 1972. So I'm going to replace values, right? I'm going to replace the value for that particular date. So 09 space 21 space 1972. So this is the value that I want to find and I want to replace it with. So instead of the space, I'm going to put in hyphen. Okay, and click on OK. Okay, so now if I'm to change this to a date data type, okay, it's still not working. Okay, so I don't think that's the best of. Okay, so I know why it's not working now. Um, so right now this is month, day, and year, whereas I'm actually using um day, month, and year. So I'm going to change this. So all right, so it's going to be 21st hyphen of September 1972. Okay, so let me again change this to a date. So you can see that it's actually working now. So let me cancel the step and work on others. So let me work on others. Okay, So, all right. So I'm going to scroll down again and I can see 23rd December of 1966. That is 23rd December 1966. So I am going to, okay, so I'm going to replace value, right? So the value I want to find is 23rd, then December of 1966. So instead of that, I want to replace it with 23/12/1966. Okay, so what other values do I need to replace? So we have the 6th of March year 1951. I'm actually using my initiative. Okay, so the 6th of March, I think, yeah, so March means March. So the 6th of March 1951. So I need to put this spelling in my head. The 6th of March, comma, year 1951. Okay, so I'm going to replace the value. All right, so the 6th of March, year 1951. So this is going to be the 6th of March 1951. Okay, so that's 06 March 1951. Okay, so one by one, I'm going to try and see how many of these I can actually change. Okay, so I'm just carefully going through all of these dates. I know this is not the best option, this is not the best of options again, but for now, this is all that I can think of. All right. Okay, so I have here 01/1603. So this actually means January 16, 2003. So I'm going to change this to the correct format. Okay, so I saw 01/16-03, which actually means the 16th of January 2003. Okay, so I'm still checking. So I want to check for dates that are like this. So I can see 10-29/99. I know it actually means this is October, October 29th, 1999, but I want to try and change it to a date data type and check if it gives me an error. So if it does not give me an error, then I'm going to work with it like that, right? So I'm just going to check for dates that are in this format, that are in MMDD and YY, that is month, day, and year. Okay, I think I saw something strange. All right. Hmm. Let me keep on checking. Okay. All right. So I have another one here. So 21, 11, 46. This is actually confusing. Okay, so now I'm going to try to change this to a date. So there is no, I don't think there is 2046. So this could be 1946 and not 2046. And then this date brought out an error. So that means I have to change their format, to the right format. Okay, so let's do this one by one. So the first one here is 10/29/99, which means the 29th of October 1999. So we have the 10/29/99, and I'm going to replace it with 29th of October 1999. October is 10, not 1. Okay, and yeah, okay. So the next one is 21/11/46. 21/11/46. So to be sure and to make sure that you're actually, providing right details, it is very good that you confirm from the source itself. So you can go to the website and check the title, the movie title, the show title, and check the year it was released. Does it match with what you have here? If it doesn't, then you can make use of what you see, in the source. Okay, so 21/11/46. So this could mean, all right, so this could mean 21st of November 19. Okay, so sorry, before I move on, because I noticed something. So from this, remember this was month, day, year. So that means 21/11/46. Oh, 21/11/46 can be month, day, year. So this is actually day, month, year. Okay. All right. So I'm going to replace values 21/11/46 is going to be 21/11/1946. It's even possible. It's even possible this is 1846. I don't know, but so be sure. Please make sure that you are checking directly from the source. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just like checking all through to see if there are values that I'll need to, replace and tweak a little bit. But I think that is it for now. So I'm going to try changing this from text to date again and see if I get error. So I'm still getting errors. I am still getting errors on row 83 and 84. So row 83 and 84 is where I have my errors. Okay, so before changing the type, I'm just going to scroll down to row 83 and 84 to see what I have in the release date. Oh, okay, so this so this is something. So this is something. Yeah, I can see Scarface 1984 02 34. Then Taxi Driver 1976 13 24. Now these are actually wrong values because so I think this is giving 19. Okay, so this is giving year, month and day, right? Both of them, year, month and day. But then for this taxi driver, 1976 13th, there's no 13th month. And also for Scarface, there is no 34th day. So for this, I'm just going to quickly check. Okay, so I'm just going to check for Scarface. I can see it was released in 1983. Yeah, so this is actually correct. Um, where is it? Oh, so all right. So this is showing 1984. Right. So this is Scarface from IMDB. So you see why it's good to check from the source. It's actually very, very good to check from the source. I'm just going to scroll and probably see where I can see, you know, more details about the movie. So 1983 December 11th. Okay, so that is what I'm going to put in there. 1983 December 11th. Okay, so I'm going to replace 1984 0234 with 1983 December 11th. So let me just bring it here so I can see. So this is what I want to replace. This is the value I want to replace. 1984 02 34. So it should be 1983 December, which is the 12th month and the 11th day. Okay, so the next one is row 84, which is taxi driver. Right, so here it's showing 1976 13 24, which is not possible. So I'm just going to come to the top here and manually search for it myself. So I'm going to search for the taxi driver. So it was actually released in 1976. Let me see if it matches with what we have here. Yeah, it does, but just that the month is incorrect. I don't know about the day. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down and just check for the release date. Okay, so I'm not sure this is the release date, but from what I can see here, uh, February 19th. Okay, so this is okay. So it was released in 1976, yes, but on what day? Okay, no, I can't really see anything that talks about the day. Hmm. Okay, nothing, nothing, nothing. So 1976. Let me just be old fashioned and type in what day, month, and year was Taxi Driver released. Okay, so what day, month, and year was Taxi Driver released? Okay, so it was released February 7, so it's not actually like really, really different. So it was released February 7th, 1976. Okay, it's not like very, very different from what we have here in IMDB. Okay, so IMDB is saying February 19th, but it was released February 7th. Okay, so I'm going to come here and change the 1976 13/24 to 1976 0207. So the value I want to find is the value in row 84, 1976 13/24. I want to replace it with 1976 February 7th. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to try and trim out excess spacing. Okay, so I'm going to go to the transform and trim. Okay, so this is just me trimming out excess spacing. And then I'm going to change this data type to date. Alright, so I no more have the error. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Alright, then we have the genre, which talks about what category does a movie or TV show belong in. So from the header here, I can see that it was not properly written. So I'm just going to change it to, the correct spelling. Then we have the duration. Then we have the duration. So I'm just going to, because I can see none, INF, null, not applicable, hyphen, and a lot of things. So I need to, assess this very well to, check. So I can see numbers, numbers, numbers. First of all, I can see this hyphen here. I'm going to come back to this later. So I can see numbers. Okay. Then I can see 178C. So I'm going to remove the C. Okay, so the value I want to replace value 178C, replace it with 178. Okay, so I'm going to continue looking and looking just to be sure that then I can see INF. I don't know what INF means. So I'm going to, instead of INF, I'm going to leave it as blank. So I'll replace. So what you can do, right, is you can check for the movie, name and replace it, right? You can check for it from the source and just put in the correct duration, because I can see that uh, yeah, so I can see that the duration, so this is showing 1 hour 54 minutes and 1 hour is 60 minutes, so 60 plus 54, that is 114 minutes. Yeah, I think 114 minutes. So if you don't want to do that, you can just leave it as blank. All right, so I'm going to come back here. So wherever I see INF, I'm going to replace it with blank. So replace values, I think it's INF, yeah. So replace with blank. And I'm going to check for more. Then we have none, not applicable, and null. So I'll replace all these things with blank. Okay. So that we have for all blanks and for all cells that are blank, we have a uniform, value for them. So none is going to be blank. I'm going to replace not applicable with blank. So not applicable as blank. Also nulls. Nulls are going to be, I think it is spelled null. Yeah, so with blank. And also, what else? Yeah, so there's a hyphen somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to replace the hyphen with blank. And then I'm going to trim out excess spacing. Okay, so now I'm going to check what I have. All right, so I think I have, yeah. And then I think I can change this to, so I think I can change this to whole number. Yeah, so that way calculations can be performed to know the average duration for particular genres, calculations like that. Okay, so it's quite a lot. Okay, so it's actually quite a lot. So in the countries column, I can see that Italy is written twice, just that there's Italy as Italy and then there is Italy with a 1, so I'm going to replace that with Italy. Okay, and then we have US dot USA, so I'm just going to replace all these values. Okay, so I'm starting with Italy first of all. So Italy with a 1 is going to be Italy, just Italy. So I'll take out the 1. And then US with a dot is going to be just USA. Right. Um okay. Oh, all right. So I think everything should, all right. So I'm going to replace, so I have US again. I'm going to replace US with USA. And then something happens. Now I have USAA. So I'm going to replace that with USA. Just basically tweaking it till I get what I want. Yeah, so USAA with USA. So what else do I need to replace here? So I have New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand. I'm going to replace all these things. Okay. So replace values. New Zealand. I'm going to replace it with New Zealand. And then New Zealand. Okay, so there's New Zealand. So I'm going to replace it with New Zealand. Okay, so let me check if I'm all settled. Okay, so that is it for the countries. So moving on to, it's actually quite a lot. So the content rating. So I think this is okay. Yeah, this is okay. Then this is an empty column. I'm just going to delete it or remove it. It's not needed. And then let me try change this to, so I can't actually change this to, so the first thing is I want to change this to whole number, but I need to take out the dollar sign, you know. So I'm going to replace the dollar sign with blank. And then I'm going to trim out excess spacing if there is. So let me try changing this to a whole number and see what happens. I'm going to have error in some parts. Now let me tell you why I'm having error. This is row 4. This is row 4. So why am I having error in row 4? That is because in row 4 it is saying 0 as the letter O. So I'm going to replace this letter O with 0, and then I'm going to replace these commas with blank so that it's just a single whole number. Okay. Oh, so replace values. The first one is letter O. I'll replace letter O with 0. And then I'll replace the commas with blanks. Okay, so replacing the commas with blanks. So I'm not going to put in anything. So I think now I can change it to a whole number. All right, so I no longer have, any error. So now let's look at the votes. People don't vote like 2.2 point. This is actually in millions. So I'm assuming, right? This got 2.2 million votes, right? But I'm going to replace all of these dots with blank so that calculations can be performed on this column. So I'm going to replace the dots with blank so that I can change it to, and then before I change it to a whole number, I'm going to trim off any extra spacing, and then I'm going to change data type to a whole number. All right, so I don't have any error, right? So now the last column, you see we had like clean and clean and clean. So basically data cleaning is you just tweaking your data, transforming your data till you get your desired result or output or results. Output. Okay, so lastly we have the scores. Okay, so lastly we have the scores. Now I'm going to like check these scores and see what I need to replace, the things that I need to replace. Yeah. So the first one is the plus year. So I'm going to replace that with blank. Okay. So I'm going to replace the plus with blank. Okay. And then I'm going to replace F with blank. To replace F, anywhere there is F should be replaced with blank. And anywhere there is double dots should just be replaced with a single dot. Okay, so double dots be replaced with a single dot. And then anywhere there is a colon should be replaced with a dot. So anywhere there is a colon should be replaced with a dot. Okay. Okay, so what else? Let me check this drop down. So I can see 08.9. So I'm going to replace anywhere there is 08 should be replaced with just 8. Okay, so 08 should be replaced with 8. Okay. So what else do we have here? So I can see 9 points. This should actually be 9.0. So I'm going to replace 9 points with 9.0. So 9 points should be replaced with 9.0. And then anywhere there is E-0 should be replaced with blank. Okay, so E or E-0 be replaced with blank. Okay, so what else? Anywhere there is, I think I saw something earlier. Yeah, so anywhere there is comma and dot should be replaced with dots. So comma and dots be replaced with just a single dot. And anywhere there is comma should be replaced with a dot. So what else do I need to replace here? I'm just going to, go over this again. Alright, so I have 9.02, 9.03, and I think this should be 9.2 and 9.3. So anywhere there is 0.2 should be replaced with 2, and anywhere there is 0.3 should be replaced with 3. So 0.2 be replaced with 2, and 0.3 be replaced with 3. Okay, so now let me just check again if it's safe to change this to a decimal data type. So I'm going to change this to a decimal number, and voila, here we have it. That is it. Oh, I'm having error, and this error is coming row 15. Why is there error in row 15? What happened? I'm just going to go down to row 15 and see. Oh, okay. So I have 8.7 points. I'm going to replace that with 8.7. So 8.7 points be replaced with 8.7. Okay, so now I am safe. It's okay for me to turn it or change it to a decimal number. Okay, so that is it for this data cleaning exercise. And until next time, it's your girl Coco signing out.